In January of this year, my husband and I were in more pain than we've been in for many, many years. Our pain was so intense. It was like a physical force attacking our mind and body in continuous blows, day and night. I had forgotten how bad depression felt. Really bad depression. My husband had lost his job on the last day of work before the Christmas break. It was totally unexpected, a real shock. His boss kept saying, "Don't take it personally." But how can you not take it personally? If it's not personal, then why me? Why now? He was an excellent employee. He didn't have a single sick day in his first 12 months on the job. He always got to work early. He worked as late as required, overnight when necessary. Even though lunch breaks were almost unheard of, he never complained. So it seemed really, really unfair. Now this by itself could have easily led to depression, or at least shock and sadness. But the bigger problem was we'd had hard and devastating things happen to us for years. We were battle weary. Enough was enough. Every time something goes wrong, my husband gets angry at God. I don't. Usually I trust God. Until now. My husband was in the depths of despair, and so was I. Seeing the pain that he had been through over and over again was unbearable. I couldn't bear to see his pain anymore. I lost it. I started screaming at God, "I hate you, I hate you," something I have never felt or said before. I broke down and sobbed floods of tears in my anguish. I lost my faith that God was good. How could God be good when he let so many bad things happen to people? I had never felt this way in my life before. When I lost my faith in God, that's when the really serious depression hit. The physical and emotional pain was palpable. It was unbearable. Down, down, down we both went in a world that had only depression, nothing else. Thankfully, I realised that it was my thinking that was really making my depression worse. The more I thought, poor us, my poor husband, God isn't good, or God doesn't care about us, the more depressed I got. My faith in God had always brought me through hard times in the past. I realised it was my thoughts dragging me down. I also realised that no longer trusting in God was also dragging me down. So I did two things on purpose. It was hard, it wasn't easy, but it did work. I finally made a decision to change what I was thinking. And I finally decided to deliberately put my faith back in God again. I didn't feel like trusting God. I really felt like he'd let us down. But I was desperate to feel better. I had hit my rock bottom and could not physically stand to feel the depth of pain anymore. To my surprise, just changing these two things started helping me to feel better quite quickly. Not fully better straight away, but just a step or two better, enough to help me to keep moving forward. Slowly but surely, I climbed out of the deep depression. I started deliberately thinking of all the things I was grateful for. Simple things like having clean drinking water and being able to have a hot shower anytime I felt like it with just the turn of a tap. I was grateful my legs and my arms worked. For many people, they don't. I started to also remind myself of the way that God had worked in the past. I remembered Romans 8:28 from the Bible that says, "All things work together for good to them that love God." I had seen this come true many times in my life. hard things in the past that I could see God worked out for my good in the end. I continued to slowly climb out of the deep depression. I started reading the Bible again and found scriptures like these. Psalms 86:4. Bring joy to your servant, Lord, for I put my trust in you. And Romans 15:13. May the God of hope fill you with all joy and peace as you trust in him. And my favourite in Proverbs 3:5 and 6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to him and he will make your paths straight. This reminded me to stop trying to work it out all by myself. Stop asking why. Just choose to trust God, no matter what the circumstances looked like. It probably took a week or two, but I slowly returned to some semblance of normality through choosing to trust God and to be grateful on purpose. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying this is a magic pill for clinical depression. I've been on medication for depression for nearly half my life, and it's been a tremendous help. But it's helpful realising that it's more than just medication. When you are in a particularly intense depressive episode, it can help to choose to be grateful and to choose to trust your Creator. Try it and see how it goes. I would love to hear your stories in the comments below. Can you relate to my story? What are some things that have helped you crawl out of a deep depression? Take care. Darlene.